Hello and good afternoon on this wonderful Sunday afternoon to the West Yorkshire Football Show. I'm your host, Stephen Downes, and today with me I've got a very special guest who's a lot happier than me. It's Josh Kirk, who is a supporter of Northampton Town. Some of you may remember Josh, who came on the League One preview show that we did with God knows how many supporters, but it went well anyway. Today it's going to go well for Josh. It's not going to go so well for me. Huddersfield Town lost 3-1 to the Cobblers on Saturday, and it was the first defeat at home for Town, and I think it was the first away win for Northampton since February. So,
Yep.
welcome to the show, Josh.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on.
We were chatting yesterday, saying about predictions. What how confident we were going into the game. Obviously, coming off a 4-0 win for Town, I was quite confident. If I'm being honest, I thought Northampton's not had the greatest start to the season, and obviously with you guys not being in the best of form, I think you were the opposite to me. You were coming into the game a bit sort of with some trepidation, really. And I think we went for the same scoreline, 3-1, something like that. Obviously, we went in Huddersfield's favour. That didn't happen, Josh. Your reaction, firstly, to the scoreline, just on a general note?
Well, I think the scoreline was a surprise. I mean, we were, as you say, we were speaking to each other on, I think, Friday night, and I said 3-0. I didn't have to specify who to, because I thought it was obvious it was going to be to Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And then as the game was going on yesterday, when we were 3-0 up, I said, this isn't what I meant when I said 3-0. But yeah, no, just surprise. I think, as you say, it wasn't going to the form, but going into it, especially coming off of your win at Bolton. And we haven't had the best start. We'd won one of our first 5. So, yeah, very, very happy with it. Obviously, a win, it's got us in the top half at the moment. So, yeah, we'll definitely take that. It could end up generally being the highlight of our season. So we'll see how it goes.
On when you saw the two lineups, talk us through your thought process with Northampton's lineup, because it looked quite strong, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, John Brady's got us. He's got a setup for away games in that we just want to press and just try and pressure the home team into mistakes. And we start off very quickly away from home with that press. It was the same very first game of the season away at Bristol Rovers. And I think obviously with the first goal, I think it kind of was a triggered from that press, which we do normally start with Callum Morton for that press, but he didn't start. So
yeah,
I think that was a little bit of a surprise, but I think, to be fair, with the lineup, I think John Brady got it spot on. Obviously, I think it's reaped its rewards. So yeah, I mean, we've had to chop and change a few different times anyway this season. Yeah, not that much of a surprise. Maybe Morton not starting was a surprise, but yeah.
Watching, we've got some viewers. Please get your comments in on Twitter and YouTube particularly. Please share and like the video, and get involved. From a Town perspective, I suppose coming off a 4-0 win, there wasn't many surprises to the team. There was only one change. Miller, who had a bit of a hamstring injury, he went out, and Jaheim Headley came in. But apart from that, it was pretty much as you were. I don't think anybody was shocked at that, coming off a 4-0 victory at Bolton. And to be honest, it just started really badly from Town. And the first goal, let's talk about the first goal, because we had a very similar experience against Bolton. I don't know if you saw our highlights against Bolton, Josh, but basically the Bolton keeper decided to pass it to Anthony Evans, who put it in the net. And this time, the only difference between the Town goal yesterday and the Bolton one was ours was a really sort of harsh press, where I don't think whilst it was a press, it wasn't like an all-out press from Northampton. Hellick got the ball, and just obviously didn't look where Nichols was, and passed it into the back of our own net. Now, I don't really understand why we needed to do that. I mean, it just started off so badly, and the fact that how we conceded that goal, kind of having watched Town, as you know, for many years, I kind of get the feeling that when that goal went in, it kind of set the tone for the rest of the day, really.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it was a surprise for us to take the lead, but in the manner that we did, kind of was nice, because it was kind of a little bit of our game plan with the press, but also there was a little bit of luck involved with if Helik had just seen where Nichols was, then it might not have happened. But yeah, I think it as I say, it paid to our game plan of pressing early and putting the home side under the pressure, as we have done for the away games. This is the first one where it's kind of worked and resulted in an opening goal. But yeah, I think we've seen quite a few of these mistakes.
Yeah, why are we?
Especially
Why is that happening? Same at Southampton in the Premier League. Why? Me and you are professional footballers, but I doubt, or I'd like to hope, having played football with you for many years, I don't think we ever scored an own goal.
No, not like that. I don't think. I think there's more of like a telepathic, and we're getting all the keepers involved now, with basically when Edison effectively came in to City, and it's a few people trying to replicate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why, particularly the start of this season, we've seen it across all divisions. Yeah, I don't know.
It was a really weird one for me as well, because, like I said, with you guys doing the press, it was kind of like we felt like a house of cards, really, for that first goal. There was so much, whether it was nervousness or the inability to concentrate. I think there is a bit of, unfortunately, from the players' point of view, there probably is that bit of, right, well, we've beaten Bolton 4-0 the week before. Northampton should be quite a simple exercise to go and beat, and you can't do that. Obviously your manager's very apt in, I heard some of the stuff that he was saying, and basically, that you guys wanted to come to us and give us a bit of a lesson if it was going to be possible. And that's what you ended up doing throughout the game. But obviously that first goal kind of showed the two attitudes of the two teams, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a surprise that's kind of shocked both teams in a way. I think it's made us obviously go on and say, right, we're in it for the taking now. We can get a result here.
Yeah.
And it's not what Huddersfield expected. And I think that was, as you say, coming off of the back of the start of the season that you've had, I think has helped with that. So yeah, if the goal had gone the other way, and it's like, oh, okay, it's going to play out this way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just a surprise. So yeah.
And Town's passing, from the first minute really was really bad, and for the second goal, it all stems from a Town attack. Hogg gives the ball away, and then you guys sort of motor upfield, and it's a bit of a long punt through, but Fosu, shows great pace to get there, and then has the calmness to put McGeehan in, who, it's a nice finish really when you look at it.
Yeah, it is. Fosu coming in and was probably our best player yesterday, just with his goal and assist. For him to start from the start and coming off the back of not playing a lot in the past 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a really good game from him. But yeah, the awareness he showed to pick out McGeehan, and I think McGeehan's shown it over all these years that how good he is. I think this is his level. I think he did really well last year at Colchester. So for us to pick him up, I didn't know how much I would have liked him to play. My ideal thing would have been this before we signed Fosu, but McGeehan, Pinnock, and Hoskins with Eves up top.
Yeah.
That was my thought, and then the three kind of behind could interchange. But yeah, no. To be fair, I think we've done really really well. Yeah, and for us to go 2 up in that first half, again, just a surprise. But yeah, very happy with it. Did
Were
really
you
again.
were you surprised how easy it was? How badly
Yeah,
Huddersfield were playing?
yeah, I was, because it hasn't been easy for us this season, and this on paper has been our toughest game going into it. So yeah, I think there was a surprise of that the goals were coming and that there wasn't a reply really, or not
Well, there
a
wasn't
force.
first half. I mean, that was terrible.
Yeah, there wasn't, but you and Huddersfield weren't forcing the issue. They weren't really trying to get into it. I don't think you had a shot on target until like the 65th minute ish,
Yeah.
around there. So yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah, and again, the lackadaisical sort of defending. Tom Lees gets there, but doesn't really put a challenge into Fosu when he runs through. And then, the fact that McGeehan, who is a very good player, I have liked him in a number of teams really down the years, but for him to just ghost him without anybody thinking or having the awareness, there's a quality player coming into the box here who's likely going to have a shot, and not getting nowhere near him. That surprised me the most really, not the fact that we didn't deal with Fosu. Listen, Fosu's going to always beat Tom Lees in a running race. It's like watching a road runner against a tortoise in some aspects. But then you've got to deal with a second issue, and that's where we just the awareness and concentration, really let down. And fair play to Northampton, you took advantage of that, and I think that's something that probably your manager is going to be the most proudest of out of yesterday. I think the second goal is something that you could take advantage for against other teams that are like Huddersfield, that once they have an off day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that is something we need to, as you say, take advantage of, especially when we're away to the bigger teams, because going away has been hard for us. As you say, it's our first win away since we beat Burton Albion in February.
Yeah,
and I think in May, end of last season, we played 3 of the teams that ended up getting relegated in May. Not all of them away, but like Fleetwood away, you would think you would have beaten, but yeah. So this is a really really big win for us, and it was a slightly similar pattern to Charlton away in January, although they put up a little bit more of a fight, and we ended up, I think, winning in the 97th minute there. But yeah, it just seemed a lot easier than we were expecting.
It's 2-0 at half time. I didn't go to the game. Obviously, you didn't because you're down down south. But I was doing other things, and so didn't get a chance to go to the game. But when I saw on Twitter it was 2-0 at half time, I genuinely put my head in my hands and thought, "What the hell's happened here?" I mean, to me it was a negative surprise. To you, I'm sure it was a very positive one.
Yeah, very pleasant surprise. We're just seeing the scores coming through. So I was like, I said to my wife, "What's going on here? This isn't what it should be. This doesn't go into form." But yeah, no, 2-0 at half time. But with us, and has been previously, and I suppose with most teams, you're thinking, are we going to hold on to this? We tend to throw these leads away. But we did.
Second half, you come out, both teams come out, and it was a lot like the first half. I don't think we necessarily put you under much pressure. It was weird, really, watching the highlights and reading a lot of the reports from the match. And then, the third goal, which, listen, Michael Duff said afterwards he thought it was a foul. I'll be honest, I don't think it is. I don't think Sorensen's strong enough in the tackle. I think Fosu, is a lot stronger. wins the ball fairly, from my opinion. I think it's a bit of a slip from Sorensen as well, but certainly not strong enough. And I don't think Lee Nichols does himself any justice with the goalkeeping either. Fosu puts it through his legs. So again, it's a very poor goal for Town to give away, I think.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Nicholas Jackson goal against West Ham yesterday, the first one, in that Fosu has, he could, another day that is a foul, but he's won the ball. The thing is, the players in the middle stop for a split second, and because they were expecting the foul to be called on Sorensen, but they stop for a second, realise it isn't being called, but they just cannot get back to Fosu. And I like Lee Nichols. We had him 12 years ago. But he doesn't. He can't. Yeah, I think it's you make an argument for a good placement by Fosu, but also Nichols should be doing better there. But then he's not got protection from his defenders either, who haven't come back or just expected that foul to be called. But no, and then 3-0. I think from there, it's game done. Really,
it's
surprising.
Yeah. I mean, I think Nichols, bless him, who I really like, by the way, and I've always championed him as one of our better goalkeepers over the years. But I genuinely think he's more bothered about telling the referee it was a foul on Sorensen than saving the ball. He immediately gets up to shout at the referee, who apparently did have a bad game as well. And listen, I don't want to get into to Jay territory here, and who is the Leeds fan on the channel, about talking about referees. But the standard of officiating in the EFL is actually atrocious. And you look at some of the decisions across the EFL over the last couple of weekends, and it is really bad. But I find it interesting that you tend to think it might have been a foul then. I'm getting that opinion.
Yeah, it could have been given. I wouldn't have had an argument if it had been given, I think. Because it was just dependent on the day, really. I think it's the same for Odemeo when he got sent off. I think you could see that not given sometimes, to be honest, because it was more like a fumbling. We'll get to that in a bit, but
after the third goal, we seem to have woken up slightly, and I think there was a bit, like I said, our first shot came on target, came on the 65th minute. Our first real shot in total, to be honest, came in the second half, proper. But before that, I mean, you could have gone 4-0 up. How that lad's not scored the header?
Guthrie.
Who's hit the cross? I mean, he should be doing better there, I think.
He should, but we could afford to not score it. To be fair, John Guthrie, he scored, I think it was away at Brackley in pre-season, like a 35-yard screamer, and it was insane. But he should have scored. But I mean, he's a big player for us, is John. He's captain.
Yeah.
And I think he just, especially when you were coming back into it at the end, he's just a great organizer. So it would have been nice for him to get a goal, but it was just I say unlucky. He maybe should have done better, but
again, all over the place though. The Town back line. I mean, literally nobody, when you watch the replay, is anywhere near the guy when he gets his header off. And Nichols is rooted to his spot. So I mean, if he gets it on target and doesn't hit the bar, it's a goal, isn't it? If we're being honest, he's not missing it. 4-0 probably would have been fair as well, Josh. I'm not going to lie. The way that Town played, I think. I mean, it might end up being your best performance of the season, if we're honest. And you might look at it back on it, and you might think, "How the hell did we not win it by more?" I'll be fair. Yeah,
potentially it might well be, unless we beat Peterborough. But probably will be. Definitely is so far our best performance of the season. But yeah.
We score. Well, just Konoma scores in the 80th minute. Probably not great goalkeeping by your lad. I think he gets a bit of an hand to it, doesn't he? But probably not strong enough. And I don't think the defence did great on your goal either. If I'm being fair.
No, I'd agree, but I think as well though they've more than made up for it, because usually if we concede a goal with 10 minutes to go and added time, we would crumble, and we did last season quite a bit. So for us, I mean, it's a different story if the penalty goes in as well. To be fair, I think if the penalty goes in, we would concede another. But no, yeah, it wasn't great defending, but we hadn't had to do much for a lot of the game. So maybe it was a lapse in that judgment.
When Josh Kirk goes through again and gets the penalty, firstly, did you think I thought it was a penalty, and I didn't see the lad's first yellow card, so I can't comment on whether it was a first yellow, but it looked like it for the sort of tackle it was. I don't think he got the ball, so it probably was right that he was a sending off. It was a penalty. My God, it was a waste of penalty. Well, I genuinely, what, it was such a poor struck and penalty. It was unreal.
It was a really poor penalty. Really poor. It made it easy for Burge. Really easy.
Yeah. Did you think it was a penalty? Sending off?
I mean, yeah, probably. I think it could have gone either way. Again, I think it depends on how the ref's been on the day. I think, yeah, Oldemeo, to be fair to him, hasn't had a lot of football either. But yeah, he'll learn from it. But yeah, I think it's fair enough to give it a penalty. So
if that goes in, firstly, when the penalty was given, were you starting to worry a little bit?
Yes, to be honest, I was. Yeah, because I think we would throw away a 3-0 lead. But no, I think once the penalty's saved, then it's like, right, we've got this now. But yeah, no, if that penalty goes in, because it's pretty immediately after your goal,
yeah.
And then you've got like a good 10 minutes or so to get another one, which I think would have happened, to be honest. But no, I think the poor penalty, the penalty save was needed for us to be able to keep those 3 points. And then when Guthrie missed the header, then it would have mattered. But
well, the thing is, you could see after the penalty miss, the sort of like the whole air in the stadium just was let out. It was like a balloon being deflated. I think people just knew by that stage, the ones that were still in the stadium, that it was just going to be not a day for us, and you guys were richly going to deserve your massive 3 points. And let's not underestimate, it's a massive 3 points for Northampton.
Yeah, I mean, we were 18th before the game. So looking at our results previously, where I think our home games, the first 5 home games of this season, which we're still in at the minute, we should be targeting 4 wins. We beat Exeter, but then we drew at home to Burton Albion, and we lost to Wickham. We've lost to Wickham twice because we lost to them in the League Cup as well. Yeah. But we've got Mansfield next at home, who are on a decent run. To be fair, they're doing quite well.
Yeah.
But I think that's a game, especially after this game, that's a game where we're like, right, we need to get a home win here again. And I think we've got Bolton at home after that as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we go from here, because we've got Wrexham away fairly soon, start of October. So it'll be interesting to see how we play in that game with how well they've started. That
might be very similar to the game at Town, really, because they might underestimate you.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of did the same with Crawley yesterday. I mean, they ended up getting away with the win, but Crawley gave them a game and should have, I think, come away with something. In the end, I think they were unlucky not to. But yeah, I think that's our hope, especially for the away games. I think we still need to work on our home, and impose ourselves at home, really. I mean, to be fair, this season a lot of it is about consolidating stuff off the pitch, anyway. So, but yeah, it would be nice for this to kickstart our season, actually just get consecutive wins, because we haven't done that in a little while. So that'd be nice.
I mean that is pretty big, and obviously from a Town point of view, I think we need to bounce back. We've got is it Mansfield on Tuesday? Yeah, you playing
Yeah,
midweek?
Mansfield's are. Let me have a look. I believe so.
The Town have got while you're looking for that, Town have played Blackpool on Tuesday night, obviously with our rearranged fixture due to the international break. Steve Bruce comes back to the John Smith Stadium, once a Town manager back in the 2000s. They won at the weekend, so he's won his first 2 games in charge. So it's definitely going to be a difficult game. Probably, expectationally a more difficult game than what it was against you guys. And I'm not, I'm not confident. If I'm being honest, the lads really need to show something back, and they can't be making errors like the first goal with Hellick against a better opposition. I say that with respect, like in Blackpool.
Yeah, no, I think they've done well since Steve Bruce has come in. They played well against Charlton yesterday. Really good game plan again from him, because they were doing really well at the Valley, especially the start of this season. And again, they're, as we said about on the previous show, one of the favourites to be up there, Charlton. So yeah, I think Blackpool will give Huddersfield a game. We're not playing midweek. We've got Mansfield on Saturday. Then we've got Bolton midweek the week after. But yeah, no, I think it'll be an interesting game. Blackpool Huddersfield.
How do you generally see Northampton start, and then obviously Huddersfield start? How would you assess things for both teams at this stage of the season with about 6-7 games gone?
I mean, I think Huddersfield start's been good because you still in the playoffs. I mean, you've had 2 defeats. Did you lose? Was it Rotherham you lost to as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been good because I think all you need to be is up there, because I think that's where the expectation is for Huddersfield. I think with us, I mean, after this win, it's not as bad as it looked, but we've had 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. So we've had as many defeats as you have, so which isn't that bad, but obviously we've drawn 2 more games than you have.
Yeah.
And if we could have just got a goal against Burton Albion, if we'd have got that goal, we'd be 9th. So it could have been better. But I mean, for us to be top half, I think it's still very early, but we've got harder games. I think Huddersfield was the first hard team we faced. I'll be intrigued to see how we play against Bolton next Tuesday with how poor their start's been. Obviously, they got hammered by you. So I think we'll probably see how our season will go based off of that more than anything else. And then we've got I think with our October, I mean, we've got, forget the Football League trophy, I'm not, don't know. But Bolton at home, followed by Wrexham away. So the start of that will be interesting. But then our home games in October are after Bolton, Leyton Orient and Crawley. So again, we need to win these home games for us.
Crawley's a big fixture, I think, to try and win, fixtures like that. But Burton, like you say, you were probably disappointed you didn't get a win against Burton, because I think they're going to be down there at the by all accounts.
Yeah, I think so. And I can't believe, I watched the Bristol Rovers game at the start of the season and we lost in the 92nd minute. And it was, I was watching the game, and because I watched it on the Sky Sports Plus thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was away, so I was watching it away. I watched the whole game. We started well, similar to as we played against you, in that we were just pressed them and we were the better team for the first 25 minutes probably. And then Bristol Rovers grew into the game and we defended fairly well. We limited them to shots from outside the area. And then the feed cut out just as they got a corner in the 90th minute. And they scored from that corner. So as far as I was aware, we'd drawn the game until I checked at the end.
Sky have improved their coverage apparently as the season's gone on. They no longer cut games off at the 90th minute. They actually understand that there is added time.
Good. I'm good. I wish they'd cut it off for Wickham. But yeah, I think it's been a bit of a bit. It has been a literal mixed bag because we've got two of every result. But yeah, I think I'll start the season like away draw at Barnsley was good as well.
Yeah,
So
they're up to third now. I think
yeah,
the thing that worries me is for Town is, Birmingham look like they've now got
they're
into
the
top gear.
they're the real
Wrexham
deal.
Wrexham have just started like they mean to go on. Whether they can continue it, I don't know. If for whatever reason they have a dip, I imagine they'll go spend a bit of money in January. So they're definitely going to be up there at the Wrexham. Stockport's dropped slightly now. I think
Mm-hmm.
that they're interesting of how their results got beat by Leyton Orient yesterday 4-1 or 4-0.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting result. So I think that the league is starting to take shape. I think you've got teams that definitely are where they should be. Bolton and Rotherham are the two big surprises so far, I think.
Yeah,
Rotherham are in the bottom three at the moment.
bottom four. They're 21st at the minute.
Yeah, bottom four, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've only won that one game, which was against you. So yeah, they're the surprise. Bolton won yesterday, beating Reading, but yeah, I think you're right with that one. We expected Crawley to be down there. They're 17th, so they're slowly dropping.
I think you're doing better than most people expected, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we're doing better than I expected at this stage. But I'm just looking at who's yeah. I mean, Blackpool will go above us. I think they've got the same record as us, but we've got a
Yeah.
better goal difference. So I think obviously their two wins have come in the last two games, so they're on an upward trajectory under Steve Bruce. But yeah, I think the top six, top seven at the moment is kind of as you would expect it to be. Maybe Peterborough should be up there.
Yeah.
And perhaps Bolton and Rotherham. But if you look at last season, Lincoln are up there. They're sixth. Charlton we all thought would do all right. And yeah, the top two. I think the top two will probably stay the top two for the rest of the season. Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot more spotlight on League One now because of those two teams, and I think especially with Wrexham more than Birmingham, in that they've had the Hollywood story and cameras have been there for 4 years, maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
That they're used to it, but they know how to back it up. So I think it will be the same this year with Wrexham and Birmingham. You can if Birmingham was spending 10 million on a player,
it's disgusting, isn't it?
What hope is for the rest of us?
It's actually disgusting what Birmingham have done to League One. I've never seen a side spend that much money in a division like League One. It is. Well, as I say, it's just disgusting, isn't it? I think the thing with Wrexham, like, I don't know about Wrexham. Like, I love the documentary, but I have got this thing about I just like traditional sides doing well and doing it properly, and they're not one of them. Do you know what I mean? Which I know is bad because it's that usual football fan of, oh, you don't want them to do well just because they've got, do you know what I mean? But it's just frustrating.
Yeah, but I think they are developing a lot of the infrastructure around the whole club and the town. I think there is the tradition there with the miners and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
So they are a traditional club. They've just got backing from famous people.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good story. But it'll be the same for. I mean, look at Luton. It was the same for them going all the way up. I think, yeah, it can happen to any club. It just, I mean, you were in the Premier League not that long ago, so it can happen to anybody. Just waiting, we're waiting for our turn.
I remember. I'll always remember that night when we when we got to the playoff final. We were all living in that house, and basically I come back with Nathan from the middle of Huddersfield, and I actually couldn't believe it. But there we go.
I know it was, yeah.
What a time to be alive!
Yeah.
What a time. Thanks very much for the comments. Jules says, how are we doing, chaps? Well, Josh is doing a lot better than me on this Sunday, but fair play to him. And Max says that get Hodge, Kane, Ladapo and Spencer in for Tuesday, worrying how clueless Northampton made us look from the 20th to the 75th minute. I would agree, Max. But Hodge was probably the best player. Duff said he was the one that came out with some credit yesterday. Nobody else did. Yeah, let's just hope it's going to be a better result on Tuesday against Blackpool. There needs to be some sort of response. And what I would say, Josh, is good luck for the rest of the season. I don't know when the reverse fixture. I think it's next year is the reverse fixture, isn't it? Something like April time.
Let me have a quick look. We play 1st of February.
Oh, 1st of February. Oh, it's gonna be probably called off because of the snow or whatever there'll be. You never know. Do you have underground heating at the Six Fields?
We've barely got a fourth stand at the minute. No, we do. I mean, to be fair, I think it was Sean from uni. We had we played you at, I think it was a Six Fields and not at yours, where the weather was blowing advertising hoardings everywhere, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I think it was in the 90s, but Sean showed us it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it might be called off. Probably not. I hope not. We haven't had a home game called off for weather in a long time, as far as I can remember. So
I'll try my hardest. Me and Josh have been looking to beat up for the last 2 years, and we just haven't been able to. But we hopefully there won't be any.
Hopefully, then.
There won't be any 80th birthday parties that I need to go to in February. So we'll look to meet up then. But thank you very much for everybody tuning in. Thanks for those that have put comments down, liked the video and shared. Good luck, Josh, for the rest of the season. I not just because you're my mate, but I actually do like Northampton as a football club, proper football club with proper supporters. And good luck for the rest of the season, man.
Thank you, and to you as well. Apart from the 1st of
February. Yeah. Okay, well, Huddersfield Town play Blackpool, as I say, on Tuesday night. I think me and the lads are going to try and do it if they can be bothered to turn up. No, I mean that in jest. On Wednesday evening, obviously, we've got our Monday night show, roundtable show tomorrow. God, that's going to be exciting, isn't it? Leeds won. We lost 3-1, so I can't wait to sit through Jay and Steve being smug. I thought City lost. Did they? I can't remember. What Bradford did. Halifax won, though. They kept their good running. So we'll be back tomorrow evening and then, Wednesday. And I'm sure Steve and Jay will be doing something on Thursday about Leeds. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday and we'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye.